Dallas Willard, in his book, The Divine Conspiracy, tells a story to illustrate this from his childhood. He grew up in rural southern Missouri in the days when, well, electrical wires had not been strung through the area yet. So their homes, their farms did not have electricity yet. And it says there were basically, like any time when a change is coming, three groups of people. There were those who thought of this newfangled stuff called electricity coming into their houses as being dangerous. And they became anxious about it. Who wants that newfangled stuff anyway? We should just stay away from that thing. If God wanted us to have electricity, well, he would electrify us or something like that. You've heard that with every change that's come in our lifetime. There are always those who fight against change, who become anxious about it and want nothing to do with it. They resist it. Then there's a second group of people. And they're kind of the ones who are, well, if change comes, change comes. And they just passively wait for it to come. And if it's not too much of a bother, and not too much of a trouble, and certainly not too much of an expense, then fine, they'll buy into that change too and just go along with it. Then there's a third group. There's a third group that sees this change as the future, as the way things are going to be. And they are proactive. They're willing to push for it. They're the ones who are out there telling the county to get those electrical wires to their house. And even if I have to pay for them, I'm going to pay for them because that's the way things are going to be. They're forceful people. They're forceful people who let go of the past, repent of the past, and take hold of the future. They grab hold of this change because they see it as the way things need to go. Well, how would you describe your own relationship with the kingdom of heaven in terms of those three pictures? Does the call to repent, to let go of the past and take hold of the kingdom, make you anxious? Perhaps you sense how much you will have to change. If you really think about the kingdom in serious terms, not just playing around with it, but seriously. Seriously, everything that the kingdom means. How much will have to change if you get serious about following Jesus? And does that frighten you? And cause you to resist anything and anyone that might advocate the need for change? I'm not pointing fingers. But if you're feeling any level of conviction here, don't quench the Spirit. Listen to what the Spirit is telling you and calling you to. Maybe it doesn't make you anxious, but neither does it make you excited in any way. You're one of those, like many, who go with the flow. You wait and see. Does that describe you in terms of the kingdom of heaven? It will come when it comes. It'll come in its own way and in its own day. Don't rock the boat. Don't make anyone upset with this kingdom talk. Let's just be peaceful. I must confess that it's easy to not only have but cultivate that attitude, because it is so much easier just to smooth the ruffled feathers, put out the fires, and go back to the way things were. Imagine if John would have done that. Imagine if John would have just said, okay, let's not stir anyone up here. Let's just let things happen the way they do. But what does that mean when we consider God's call? Maybe it doesn't make you anxious. I lost my spot. What does that mean when we consider God's call through Paul to dress for battle? Or his call through the prophet Joel? Or the words of Jesus found here? Forceful men and women lay hold on it. Forceful men and women take hold of the kingdom. Ones who have a kingdom vision and say, I'm not going to be satisfied until I see that kingdom coming in my life and in the world around me. I'm not going to be satisfied until this is taken seriously and not just ignored. Forceful men and women catch that kingdom vision and surrender themselves to it. They are neither anxious nor passive. They are proactive. God isn't calling all of us to be just like John the Baptist, but he is calling all of us to be the ones who see this vision of the kingdom of heaven in us and around us. He's calling us to let go of our anxiety, to let go of our passivity. He's calling us to repent and take hold of the kingdom forcefully. That means clinging to it and not letting other things fill our hearts and minds with distractions. Let me close again with the words from the prophet Joel and with words from the apostle Paul. Even now, declares the Lord, return to me with your heart. Return to the Lord your God, for he is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger, and abounding in love. Prepare for war. Rouse the warriors. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Strong in the Lord. And the words of Paul, be strong in the Lord and in his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God.